Let us learn what is the difference between hemiplegia and crossed hemiplegia. Hemiplegia, the word means paralysis of one side of the body. For this discussion, we will include weakness of one side of the body. So in this case, you have weakness of the upper limb and the lower limb, and along with that, there is weakness of the face. Notice that the weakness of the face is focused on the lower part. There is sparing of the upper part. Remember, whenever there is sparing of the upper part, it is called a UMN facial paralysis. If you find this pattern, that is face involvement and the arm and leg on the same side, then that is known as a classic hemiplegia. You can localize this kind of a lesion into the cerebral hemisphere. If this occurred within 24 hours, it can be an internal capsule stroke. So why this causes this pattern? It is because it involves the facial nerve fibers. These are called the UMN facial fibers. These are the arm fibers and these are the leg fibers. So that created this pattern of paralysis or weakness. Let us now learn what is crossed hemiplegia. Crossed hemiplegia means there is involvement of the face on one side and the upper limb and the lower limb on the other side. So one side face and the contralateral body, that is known as a crossed hemiplegia, because this is different from the classic hemiplegia where you found both the facial paralysis and the upper limb and lower limb paralysis on the same side. This has another name. This is called alternating hemiplegia because facial nerve paralysis is alternating with the side of the upper limb and lower limb paralysis. For this discussion, I have only included facial nerve, but remember, any of the cranial nerves can be involved here. Example, the third nerve, the vagus nerve, the trigeminal nerve, any kind of cranial nerves can be involved in an alternating hemiplegia. Why this pattern occurs? If you find this pattern, you can localize the lesion not in the cerebral hemisphere, but down in the brain stem. So this is facial nerve involvement, so you can localize it into the pons. Why this causes this paralysis? Because it involves the lower motor neuron facial fibers. That is why you have an LMN facial paralysis. LMN facial paralysis involves the whole hemiface. You also have the similar upper limb and the lower limb fibers involved. So that creates the crossed hemiplegia. To summarize, if you find classic hemiplegia, you can localize it into cerebral hemisphere. If you find crossed hemiplegia, you can always localize it into the brainstem. Thank you.